Moonscars 2022 review. What is Moonscars? Moonscars is a next new Metroidvania. Dark, morbid, depressive Metroidvania. Pixel art Metroidvania. Most of the people will say how it resembles Blasphemous the most. I believe it doesn't have to do anything with Blasphemous, okay? Not even combat, boss fights, and so on. It's a unique Metroidvania on its own. It borrows out of every Metroidvania a bit, like 5-10% out of every Metroidvania. It's also an extremely short Metroidvania. Indie Metroidvania. So let's start from the story. It starts extremely confusing. You won't know what's happening till the very end. And even in the end, even though some things will be clearer, it's still gonna be confusing. Okay, now I don't wanna wish to speak about the story, because I will spoil the story no matter what I said. I can speak about writing and about cinematics. There are 2-3 short cinematics in the game, comic-like pixel art cinematics. Very tiny bit of voice acting during the cinematics, and writing is like the game, basically mysterious, dark, and depressing. Some will love it. It has like interesting story. I liked it. Okay. But I guess it's gonna leave like 90% of people completely confused of what's actually happening. Okay, there is a very simple explanation. Now, the next thing that I'll say is a spoiler. Okay, so you can skip this part if you want to. Basically, there was a kingdom in a war with another kingdom, okay? And the sculptor created Clayborns to help the king. Clayborns went mad, killed civilians, killed king soldiers, they killed the opposition too. They turn against their own, then king goes to sculptor again. He says, make me something for this to stop. He creates pristines. You are one of pristines. Then pristines go mad again, okay? Because you can never stop evil, okay, in human soul, no matter if you mold it from clay or not. And our main character ends up chopping King's head, and the entire kingdom goes to shit, and there's only one living human left on the planet. Now, you wake up in a cycles because you're made from clay. Also, enemies are from clay. Everything is made out of clay, and everyone wants to be sentient, okay? And they remember how it used to be while they were alive. And you're basically going through a lot of pain and suffering in the game. As I said, extremely depressing. What happens at the end doesn't matter. That's the story in short. Interesting story. 7 out of 10. Bugs and optimization. Not a single crash, not a single glitch. A very low amount of bugs. I only had one bug where I needed to restart the game. Maybe I lost 10 minutes of progress. The game works smooth. Stable frame rates. It's gonna work on a toaster too, I guess. You don't need a good PC to play this. 10 out of 10. Game time. As I said, extremely short game with 0 replay value. For me personally, this took 2, 5, 7, and 1 exactly 8 hours to finish, and I can say I did like 95% of the game. I need to check the price. Because I forgot. $20. For $20, 8 hours of this Metroidvania with a 0 replay value is 5, 6 out of 10 once it's on sale. Under $10, it can be 8 out of 10. Right now, I give it 5. Game difficulty. I died a lot of times. Okay, but that still I got used to the game after the first 2-3 hours. It became easier and easier and easier, and then I killed the final boss, and the boss before that, and the boss before that on the very first attempt. While I died on the first boss maybe 5-6 times tops. That would be the difficulty. Enemies are quite aggressive. As far as combat goes, classic like in every freaking Metroidvania, you play with dodge and parry. I never used parry once in the entire game, only used dodge, dash, call it how you like. You smack basic attacks, you cast some magic and so on. Okay. Jump attacks, dash attacks, classic. Nothing new here. There is challenge. For these 8 hours, there is challenge. 7 out of 10. Maps and graphics. Now, there are one, two, three, 4, 5 different environments in total, all dark and depressing, dark colors, dark green, dark blue, dark yellow. even the one in the skies is freaking dark. As far as those maps go, there is a good UI, clear UI. Now, minimap ain't that clear, legend is lacking, you can only see waypoints on a map and nothing else, and you do need to backtrack some things in the game, and there's a lot of hidden doors, hidden paths, a lot of secrets that are not that easy to discover. You need to whack every wall, you need to jump on every wall, okay, up, down, left, right, you check nearly every command when something is suspicious, and you're usually gonna find a secret or two. As far as UI goes, it's pixel art, even in UI, okay, and there's nothing special in it, it's very simple. You got a map, you got skills, I mean spells that you can cast, and you got trinkets and magic. That's about it. Crystal clear. Okay, from the main UI there's mana, white bar, or ichor, how they call it in this game. There are spells that you cast, unique attack, and health. Up there, left in a corner, would be the moon. Once you die, it turns into a red moon, and the game becomes harder. Until you use a gland, top right corner, 34 glands, use a gland, and you reset to the full moon again instead of a red moon, blood moon, call it how you like. It doesn't matter. That would be from the UI. As far as graphics go, someone will like it, someone won't like it. I like pixel art, especially when it's done like this. Art style is absolutely phenomenal. Maybe this game would profit more out of more diverse areas, because there's only 5 areas, as I said, and most of them look the same with a switch color. But the art is great. 7 out of 10. Gameplay. classic as in every freaking other Metroidvania. You can easily call this one a Souls-like Metroidvania, similar to Salt and Sanctuary, that type of games. You dash, bash, smash, cast a few skills, heal up, find doors, secrets, progress, open up the map, open up the passage, trigger the waypoint, level up, and repeat, find the boss, and up we go to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, until you finish. Combat is in 80% of time whacking the base attack, okay? Like, most of the time you do this, into dash, into this, into dash, and that's it. You can cast spells, there are multiple spells to cast, alright? But I rarely use them, because basic attack is more than enough to finish the game. There is no need to use all of this. You can use them while you have fun. Once you stop having fun, you won't be using them. You're gonna use basic attack and dodge. Simple as that. Now the most important thing about gameplay is it fun? I wouldn't finish the game if it wasn't fun. But then again, I love Metroidvanias, and I played all Metroidvanias that exist. In 2022, it might be, if nothing changes till the end of the year, the best Metroidvania in terms of gameplay. I played Blessed Brigade, I played Soldiers this year. Don't know what else was out from those Metroidvanias. Juxtia, I think, was also this year. This one is the best in 2022. Best Metroidvania of 2022 so far. It's October, 2 more months left. Now, some people will also say how combat is clunky. That's how it's meant to be, okay? Because the sword that she swings, it's huge, and hitboxes are not that off, considering it's an indie game. Hitboxes are actually good once you get used to the game. It is very hard in the first 2 hours until you get used to the game, though. But I don't have any complaints about gameplay. It's nothing innovative, it's nothing special. We already seen it like 1,000 times, okay? But it's done well. 8 out of 10. Leveling and itemization. This part. You don't get XP like in other games. What you gain is bone powder, the thing in the upper right corner. With a bone powder, you're gonna learn spells, or better to say, you're gonna learn witchery. Summon stuff, throw stuff at enemies, and enhance your damage. That's all there is from leveling, and nothing else exists. There are glands that you can use on the altar. We're gonna go to the altar now. And glands basically transfer the ravenous moon, red moon, blood moon, to the full moon, where the game becomes easier. I never used glands in this game at all, because it doesn't matter what difficulty it is, to be honest. As long as you know how to dodge, it's fine. And there is a clay right for enemies to drop more glands. Okay, and ichor and so on. Again, I never used it, never needed it. It's completely pointless, okay? Like, frankly, leveling and itemization failed a lot, because they did not impact the game. You can easily finish without all of this. If they delete this, it's fine. You can finish without. Completely unnecessary. I don't know who did the balancing, but it's bad. And a weapon right, where you can use glands to get a new special weapon, and now we get a spear, and then you get a spear that you probably never gonna use again if you know how to dash and attack. Other than that, Aside from glands and bone powder, again for bone powder you learned here, you can also buy trinkets for bone powder, and that would be itemization. Alright, these trinkets, classic. Raise damage, raise magic damage, raise your crit chance, raise your critical damage, do not lose bone powder, aka souls when you die. That's about it. Believe it or not, that's about it. And keys to open up doors along the way. And spells that you learned from the witchery. Okay, you just out-equip them here. 3 trinket slots. Amulet stones up there in the right. That's all there is. I already said, like, easily the game could have been done without witchery, without these talismans. If you don't equip shit, you still gonna finish, because there is zero impact on the game with leveling and itemization. Like, not zero, maybe like 10% impact on the actual gameplay. Okay, and 10% out of 100% would be 1 out of 10. As I said, this section nukes the game down completely. It's garbage. NPCs and enemies. A lot of NPCs in the game. A lot of mysterious NPCs in the game connected to the story. You can speak with all of them. You're gonna wonder what's happening. They got interesting things to say. They're very unique. Art style for them is very unique. You will remember them once you finish this game for sure, especially the cat, sculptor, red Irma, and so on. That same can be said about bosses. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bosses in a game in total, but they're all unique in design. Okay, and they all got multiple phases during combat. They were done well. As far as enemies go, all of them are Clayborns, mindless, ravenous monsters. Okay, they are relentless. They're gonna come down at you. They are mega aggressive. All right. And in return, you need to play aggressive too. If you play to defend, you're gonna die. If you play aggressively, like they act, then you won't die. That's how the game works. As far as enemy variety goes, and boss variety, it is good, I guess, for 8 hours long game. Solid variety of enemies. Um, 6 out of 10. Music and sound. I don't know for what reason I like the main theme of the game a lot. Okay, and usually there is no music at all in this game, in Moonscars. It's usually silence to pump up the atmosphere. Then it's mini horror tune, piano, or I don't know, singing voices and so on. But the main theme is good. Sound effects are solid. There is next to zero voice acting. Voice acting is only present during cinematics, and that's about it. 3 cinematics in total in the game, though. 7 out of 10. Final verdict for Moonscars 2022. $58 points. $6.4 out of 10. That's way above mediocre. slightly going towards good. When I rate games, I believe everything above 5 to 6.57 would be above mediocre. 7 to 8 good. 8 to 9 great. 9 and above extremely good. I believe once the price drops down to $10, it's worth buying and it's worth playing. Especially for people that only play Metroidvanias, and there's a lot of them that only play Metroidvanias and nothing else. They should give it a shot. I also believe it might be the best Metroidvania this year. Okay. In 2022. If nothing changes in the next 2 months, but I doubt this probably is the best Metroidvania this year.